Ever feel like you're wrestling with something you just can't seem to escape?
Ooh, that's a powerful image. What makes you say that?
Well, we're diving into Genesis chapters 32 and 33 this time, and let me tell you, Jacob is a man wrestling with some serious baggage.
Ah, yes. Back to Jacob. He's finally heading back home after all those years with Laban.
Right, but he's not exactly skipping for joy, is he? I mean, he's facing the consequences of some pretty big choices he made, like tricking his brother Esau out of his birthright. Talk about family drama.
No kidding. That's not something you just brush under the rug. It had huge implications back then. Remember, the birthright wasn't just about inheritance. It determined leadership, spiritual authority, the whole deal.
And you can practically feel the weight of that as we read these chapters.
Absolutely. But that's what makes these chapters so interesting. We see a different side to Jacob. He's not the same guy who snuck in for that blessing.
You're right, he's wrestling, but it's not just with his past. It's like this deep internal struggle is bubbling to the surface. We even hear him praying, acknowledging his mistakes, asking for guidance. What do you think brought on this shift?
Well, think about it. He's about to come face to face with Esau after years of living with that guilt. That's got to bring up some stuff.
No doubt. But there's this rawness to his prayer that's almost, well, unexpected. It's like he's finally confronting the consequences of his actions.
And it's in that vulnerable state, that moment of complete honesty with himself and with God, that things take a very interesting turn.
You mean the wrestling match? Seriously, who wrestles with a divine being all night long?
It's one of the more bizarre encounters in the Bible. But think about it. This isn't just any opponent. This is a physical manifestation of his internal struggle. And the fact that it leaves him limping. Talk about a lasting reminder.
You think that was intentional? I mean, like a physical mark from this pivotal moment.
It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely a powerful image. And don't forget the name change. From Jacob, he grasps the heel. To Israel, he who wrestles with God, it's a whole new identity.
It's like this encounter becomes a turning point. He's not just a guy who took advantage of a situation. He's a man transformed by his encounter with the divine.
And his descendants become the Israelites. This seemingly personal struggle takes on a much larger significance.
Okay, so now he's wrestled with God, literally. He's a changed man, at least internally. But what about Esau? The tension's got to be thick when they finally see each other.
Well, Jacob doesn't take any chances. He's prepared, let me tell you. Gifts strategically placed, family divided, all to appease his brother's potential anger.
He's definitely not expecting a welcome wagon. But then Esau's reaction, totally unexpected.
I know, right? All that build up, and he just runs to Jacob, throws his arms around him, weeping. It's a beautiful picture of forgiveness.
It's enough to make you misty-eyed. But it also makes you think maybe Esau had his own transforming journey during those years, one that allowed him to offer forgiveness so freely.
Forgiveness is a two-way street, isn't it? Both brothers had to have experienced some kind of internal shift to reach this point of reconciliation.
And as if that reunion wasn't enough, Jacob's next move is incredibly symbolic.
You mean building an altar? He's not just relieved, he's overflowing with gratitude for this second chance.
It's like he's marking this moment, this pivotal change in his life and his relationship with his brother and with God.
A physical reminder of the transformation he's gone through.
It makes you wonder, what are those altars we build in our own lives? Those things that signify a change, a commitment, a moment of grace? Because maybe, just maybe, those wrestling matches we face, those moments that leave us limping, are really opportunities for us to become